Yes, welcome to the Future Proof podcast. My name's Jav,
Michael here.
and today, guys, another interesting one in the world of AI business, and a bit of real life stuff on this one. So, basically, the reason I want to talk about this particular thing today is just because I was on I can't remember the name of the website, but it's a news website. They always talk about stuff regarding AI, latest news. And this article just popped up and it led me down a rabbit hole. And basically, there's a Berlin-based company called Born, and they just raised $15 million, right, in funding, which is great. And they've got a product called Pengu. And this Pengu product is basically an AI-powered virtual pet that is co-parented by two people that don't even know each other. But the reason I found this interesting is because I don't know if you've heard about this, Michael, but people are now basically there's a lot of people that are using AI for dating, therapy, AI therapist, dating, companion
I posted on it recently.
right? Yeah. But all of those apps are basically like one-to-one. The reason that they come up with this Pengu app is basically it's like a Tamagotchi. Basically, is how the article described it. Is like you now have a pet, and it's actually bringing you and someone else together, but it's through looking after a pet rather than just trying to find something. Not using AI to just talk to somebody to have a friend, basically. So it's like a different spin on having an AI companionship, and it's actually bringing humans together.
But one-on-one, like just only two people, right? And a
two
pet,
people
and a pet.
but the pet's AI.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So essentially, their goal is to kind of fix the loneliness issue that we're having in society, but through AI, but not in the typical way that we think of. Because if we think of it, when someone says to me, "Oh, companion AI," I think like an AI chatbot that you talk to about your issues and stuff. That's what I would think. Or dating, the dating one is like talk to it about like relationship stuff and all the stuff you would do with a girl or a guy, whatever you're into. You know what I mean? So this is different. Basically, this is different. So the point I'm making is the first question I have is, and this was in my notes basically for this episode is AI going to manipulate or is it going to exploit lonely people? That was actually my first question. Is AI going to exploit lonely people?
Interesting. I think that is it AI or is it people using AI? Maybe, right? So in a macro sense, it would be like this app company, and if their intentions weren't correct, then maybe they would be, they'll just have some agendas. Maybe they're using it to store data and then send it to other people. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, Born. That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, if you lot were manipulating people, that's what you may do. And then if it's a one-to-one person, now people, like you mentioned in another episode, have been talking to older ladies, for months and sometimes years, and just taking money, making a living off doing that. So now imagine if I've got 10 chatbots that can all go out there and talk to different older ladies and make money, whatever. So when it comes to manipulating it, I think it's just a beholder, whoever's the one using it. So, but I definitely think, that it could probably affect how things are done, how people think. I saw on Stephen Bartlett's Behind the Diary episode, he's talking about studies are starting to show that using ChatGPT for everything is having an adverse effect on your brain and stuff like that. So I think that, personal opinion, for a while I've thought and believed that using apps and dating apps as a serious way to kind of meet people can definitely work as we've seen. But I do think some people are growing without the normal way, right? Like we're raising the kids without the normal way, because it's all right if you're, your late 20s, 30s, 40s plus, you've done the go out, walk up to a girl. You've gone through those parts. So you're not really socially awkward or whatever. You've done it and you'll do it. But you now just use it as like an addition in your toolbox. Then that's cool. Fair enough. That's up to you. But when you're growing with it, this is where we're getting sucked into this virtual world. So I think it's an interesting idea. But yeah, man, I don't know. Manipulating, I don't know about manipulating from that sense, but I do think it could have the negative effect. What about you?
I think it's definitely, it's an opportunity. We all do things based on opportunity, right? So I think the AI companies that are seeing, okay, it's like OnlyFans, bro. And the reason I say that is like OnlyFans as a concept it exploits men, right? as a concept, it exploits men because it's like 90% male user base, and they're
They would
just trying.
argue that, but I get it. They're
But
probably going to argue
it exploits men though.
it.
Who,
Yeah,
what?
of course.
Obviously, I don't know the type of people that are on OnlyFans, but I can only assume it's a guy that probably doesn't have much success with girls. You know, doesn't date very often. Probably, you know, doesn't have. I mean, there obviously might be men that are in relationships that are still on it, but you get my point. So
Yeah, okay.
the same crowd that are on OnlyFans are going to be signing up to the one-to-one companion bots where they're looking for a girlfriend and they want someone to talk to. Like, they're the same type of people, the same archetype of men. This app, I would say, is a little less exploitative because of the nature of, like, it's more like a game. So you could be lonely, but it's like, okay, we're looking after a pet and I get to manage this pet with someone else who becomes my friend. So it's less like sinister, I guess is the word I'd use. It's less sinister. It's more of like a social collaboration. So I think this app, these guys, I think it's a bit different.
Yes, it could happen.
Yeah. So, but I think AI, I think people are starting to use AI to exploit that lonely crowd of people. Because I think they say about 30% of men in the UK and the US say that they're lonely. So that's a big amount of people, isn't it? So they can easily grab. If you get 30% of all men, and even if you get 5% of that 30% on your app, you're a millionaire, you're a gazillionaire. And there's a reason why investors are paying these guys 15 million, because they know that people they're interested in this. They need help.
Yeah.
They need help.
Yeah.
And you made a good point. You made an interesting point about like the generations, right? So like us late 20s, 30s, 40s, we've grown up differently than, I think our generation is the last generation where we had like the old school stuff. Like there's kids that right now that don't even know what a CD is or a tape. You know, they've never seen a VHS set. So
yeah, exactly.
I was listening to a podcast the other day. It was from a boxing podcast, and this will make sense in a second. But what he was saying was like the reason that there's not going to be any more great boxers is because kids don't go out and they don't do the rough and tumble stuff anymore. Like they don't go out, they don't fight in the park. They don't. Like kids are not built. They're not built like how we were built, right? And I think that every generation says that though, but I genuinely believe it. Like the kids are not built like how we were built because they don't go out, they don't do stuff. Like I remember one time, like when I was young, like I fell off a ledge and I smashed my head on the floor. Like those little things, you just build resilience, innit? Like and he was saying like the kids, they're not strong anymore. Their tendons are weak, their bones are weak. So that's why we're not building good boxers. And it's the same thing mentally with all these people now. AI is going to make everybody weak because kids don't go out no more. You got young people in your family, right?
Yeah.
But do they go out like how we used to go out? Like knocking for friends?
No.
Getting on the bus, riding bikes through the whole borough. Like they don't do things like that.
No, they don't do that at all. Yeah, you're right. It's a shout. That's a good shout. And it's true because the people that they will be targeting with most apps are going to be like Gen Z and below and Alpha and whatever. Because you could say, oh, this would be good for old people too. But a lot of old people aren't really using the phones like that. Right. And if they're, if someone's getting on their latter part of their life, they don't want to be stuck to a flipping phone. You see what I'm trying to say with the time that they have, So who are you targeting? You're generally targeting the young people. Again, you got people 30s to 40s, but do they have time to be sitting on this app and raising a pet and pretending to feed it with a button? No, you're probably looking at a younger person. So when you look at it like that, I'm not saying them directly, but it's true. Maybe companies are exploiting, when they're thinking of their long-term plan, they're thinking about, oh, this is stuff that the young TikTok generation are going to be the ones to feed into. And that's been the case for a minute now. That's definitely been the case for a minute now. So yeah, it is where it is, man. I think on another side of this topic is that, 15 million for some app where if we really look at things, that 50 million invested in an app where you get to create, own a pet with somebody online. I don't know. Do we have the data on like how many users they had at the time that they got
15 million plus global users already.
Okay, well, there we go.
But they don't know how.
Sure, because they got $15 million and then they also got 15 million.
15 million global users, yeah, but they don't know how many of those global users are actually paying customers because they have a freemium model. So yeah, and a lot of apps have freemium models, right? Where they can use it a little bit for free. So they haven't disclosed how many of those 15 million are paying users. Okay,
I'm looking at it now. So there's even 212,000 reviews.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Massive, yeah. So
and that's
massive.
That's not even on Google or whatever, all the other places.
Okay. So the app is obviously doing bits. And every time I see something like this, it gives me more ideas, man. Because I'm thinking we need to get a slice of this pie, but we need
Yeah,
to
the AI.
we've got to think about what can we do, what can we build to get a slice of this pie. Um,
Yeah,
and I think they're about to build out what they call a learning companion. So now this is where I think it starts to get sinister. The AI is going to learn about you, right? And then, so, well, not for this particular app, but let's say it was a companion app, right? A one-to-one app, and it had this learning companion. Now it's going to have data-driven ideas on how to kind of trigger you or like, push your emotional spots because it's learning through you. So the AI is always learning about you through your interactions with it. So
yeah,
when we talk about the one-to-one companion apps, this app's different. Like this Pengu app in itself is actually different in its makeup. And their like mission is to like stop people using those like one-to-one apps because it's addictive. Like people get addicted to them. And imagine if those one-to-one apps had like AI learning, now they're learning all about you. Now they know like your emotional trigger spots, how to kind of get you to keep coming back,
yeah,
what to say to you to make you feel a certain type of way. Like
yeah.
that's like dangerous territory, isn't it? So here's a
Mm-hmm.
question actually. Now, there's going to be business owners that are listening to this that have young staff. So what can business owners do, to protect their young staff from falling into this trap of maybe getting addicted to this kind of stuff? Because this is going to have negative consequences.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. Boy, I think that more people just need to be outspoken about their thoughts on AI and this whole virtual reality and living on your phone. And I think if you're more vocal about it, then, you're not going to really hire people who have those same sort of traits, right? Where they're just fully on the phone, TikTok based and whatever. But yeah, that's all we can really do. Just be more vocal about it. Keep studying what the effects are on the young people negatively. It's hard though. It's hard, man. I'm not gonna pretend I've got all the answers because it's tricky. Because I'll give you a perfect example. At one end of the spectrum, you got people like Kai Cenat, right? And Kai Cenat is big millionaire from streaming and so on and so forth. And that's a lot of people now are using that as a income stream and streaming and doing different bits, whether it's Twitch and gaming or it's actual just whatever, right? But then on to the contrary, it's like the exception isn't the rule, right? So what? You got one guy out of how many or, however many people who are streaming and making money from it. Does that mean now that you lose a whole generation of hundreds of millions because they're all just glued to watching somebody live their life for however long and then thinking, oh, but I could potentially do this. So it's tricky, man. I think that, yeah, society has a role to play. I think I always talk about it, but law. I think what we're living in right now is a world where the law hasn't caught up with technology. Do you get it? So you got to think, imagine when guns were first invented, or even the World Wide Web was invented, there wouldn't have been a dark web because it probably all would have just been the web. No one knows what's going on.
Right.
This one's selling a madness. This person's doing X, Y, Z. And the regulations had to come in to police it and just get some order there, right? And I think that hopefully the law can speed up with it, but I don't know. What would you say?
I think that, business owners, I guess it depends how big the business is, but it's not always down to them. Like they can't control their employees, and it's more of a societal thing than like something that business owners can directly impact. Businesses are always going to do things like socials, get-togethers, drinks, meetups, stuff like that. But you never really know what someone's doing behind closed doors, isn't it? It's like Fight Club.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're doing on their own. So I think it's hard. I think because there's some businesses where they don't want their staff using AI at all. Like I saw an article the other day about they're investigating a member of staff for using AI to help in their job, and like they don't want no AI usage. So I don't think that's the right way to go because now you're going to discourage your staff members from being innovative and using their minds to do new things. But I think it's kind of it's not their business until it becomes detrimental to their job. If they got AI companion but they're still showing up every day and doing the job, I don't care. It's not your business. Leave it to them. I think more number one, I would say society. It's a society thing.
So what's this AI companion? Like, what do you mean? Like when you say AI companion, so people just literally have AI husbands and wives now?
Yes, exactly. That's an AI companion.
Man, there's apps for
There's apps for AI companions. Yeah. So that's separate from this Pengu thing. So Pengu is obviously the pet, but their one of their premises is to combat this AI companion because that's like getting really popular where people are
Wow.
just they're dating like an avatar that they built. You know, like have you ever seen the movie Her?
I've seen there's quite a few of those. So I've seen similar movies where there's AI and things like that, but I don't know about if I've seen Her.
So
I'm
it's
looking at
old,
an app now called Replica. It's literally so meet your AI friend, chat about anything, learning and involved. And it's got like a cartoon, and they're just funny enough, just using girls. I'm
right?
actually looking at a thing now where it says share special moments with selfie videos, and it's got a guy but this is part of the actual. They give you the previews. A guy's hugging his AI companion
Oh,
in the picture. I'll
telling you.
probably try and put that picture up. So that is mad.
It's going crazy now. So it's interesting that because obviously Her, the film Her came out over 10 years ago, 2013. I actually went to the cinema to
Oh
watch it.
wow!
So that's before this
Okay.
whole AI craze became what it is. And basically,
Yeah,
it's the guy that plays the Joker. So you know the guy that
yeah,
plays
I'm
the Joker. So
listening.
he's a massive actor. So he basically, I'm not going to give away the whole movie. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. But he basically
2013, man.
no, but
English is
you should have
a
watched it
good
by
one.
now. But he's
Yeah,
a writer in it, but he's lonely and he basically falls in love with this AI thing that he starts to. This was before AI become what it is today.
it's like,
So
yeah,
imagine that, like people were predicting it years ago, and then now it's becoming even more of a real thing. But I think, to be honest, it just kind of it exemplifies what's happening to society because all these predictions
yeah.
were happening 10 years ago, isn't it?
It's always like that. Simpsons, like it's always like that, man. Predicting what's gonna happen. You know how it goes.
Yeah,
You gotta come up with a new name for conspiracy theories now, because they're not conspiracies.
They're
You
really
know,
not, bro. It's
they're not.
actually real life in every aspect. It's becoming real life more and more and more. Like every time we think about something, it's becoming more and more. So I guess really to keep it on pace, and to kind of wrap this up, I think that, the idea of Pengu actually is like a positive for me. What I see it as a positive for the whole AI thing because they're trying to combat the rise of this companion AI stuff, which is getting more and more popular,
Okay.
because it's connecting you to actual other humans. So although,
Okay.
yeah, it could be manipulative, it could be exploitative. I think it's more of a positive than what we're seeing anyway, in
Yep.
my opinion. So,
No.
and 50 million raised, that should give you some ideas, giving me some ideas, boys, giving me some ideas. This conversation is giving me some ideas on what we could be building, some AI ideas. The question I want to leave you guys as viewers is, would you trust an AI companion, to help your son or your daughter if they felt lonely? Would you allow it? If you would, leave a comment if you're on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And if you're on Spotify, give us a rating. That does help. And if you want to know a little bit more about how you can use AI in your business, I've left the link to our Quantum Growth newsletter below, where you get weekly emails from us with all the latest and greatest regarding AI, especially around sales and marketing. All right. Peace.